Hello, my name's Keenan and welcome back to the channel. So today I will start building a very large lean-to. Now it's important to note I am not an engineer and I do not work and have never worked in the construction field. So come along with me as I figure this out. Take the good ideas you want and leave the rest. So we poured all these concrete piers that we'll be setting the posts on when we poured the footer for the main shop over there. Now these piers are about 2 feet wide by 3 to 4 feet deep. All this concrete you see poured here in the lean-to portion is all extra from doing other concrete pours around here, but it's about 2/3 full. Now let's start getting this thing squared up. Got this batter board on there. Now what I'm doing is just squaring off the existing building, and then I'm gonna double check this once I get all my lines ran. Squaring off the building got me really close on my measurements, but I went ahead and used the Pythagorean theorem to get this thing right on. Now there's a calculator you can find online that'll take the magic out of this and tell you exactly what your diagonal measurement should be. This appears quick on camera, but it actually probably took me close to 30 minutes to get this right on. I welded up all my 6x6 brackets out of scrap 1/4-inch plate. Now you can buy these things, but they're actually pretty pricey. I'm using 1/2-inch fasteners, and I'm using this SDS hammer drill from Harbor Freight that makes pretty quick work of this. Setting all these brackets to a string line and also using a long tape to match all the post spacing for the main shop. I still don't have power out here, so I've been doing all this off the generator, and that thing gets pretty annoying. All these brackets turned out pretty nice, all except for this one right here. Now the post does sit fully on the pier, but I won't be able to put my anchor on the outside. I did think about moving this bracket over to be centered up on the pier, but that really throws off when I install my truss. I really want it to be in line with all the posts on that wall. And I think what happened here is I actually poured these piers before we did the concrete and brackets on the main shop, which these are all wet set, and I believe I changed my mind about the spacing at some point, so that's what happened there. Now these brackets for the end here, I'll set those after we build that wall and stand it up. Since I know my string lines are square on both ends, now I can square up one post with the string line on the far side and run 2 tapes down each side. And now that makes it super easy for me to square every single post on the ground, and now I can put my nailers on. I'm mounting 2x6 legs to every post, and what these are for is for when I put my rafters on, I have something to bump up against. Hey, I think it's starting to rain. All right. We can get it down in a minute, then we can go up. How about that?
Way up?
Yeah, we can go way up.
Okay.
That's when we poured the concrete floor. It got concrete all over it.
Why? Why is that yucky?
Well, it doesn't get yucky very easily.
Can I hold it, please? Hey, camera. Can you come and get me?
You can hold it for a minute.
Can you come and get me?
These posts sit so tight in the brackets that they need a little bit of persuasion to sit all the way down. Whipped up some of these brackets for setting these rafters. Nothing to write home about. This one's really heavy duty. That'll be for the end rafter there. Attaching these brackets with 1/2-inch lags and 1/2-inch bolts. So here's the bracket. So this lag here goes through into the post, and I'm only sticking that lag in for now, but after we actually set the rafters, go through and stick bolts through both sides to the header. Then I got several holes to run lags into the actual rafter. So we've got two headers here. That's a 2x12 and that's a 2x8. So that should be pretty strong considering that this bracket sits on the lower header and also be tied into the upper header. So I build my rafters out of 2x8s, 3-ply. I've never actually seen rafters built like this. That's possibly for good reason, but I'll show you how I'm doing it. And we're putting these up at 8-foot spacings. So got one up there already and it seems pretty solid there. I'm gonna go ahead and build the rest of them. Now to find out my angles, I used one of those online truss or online rafter angle calculators. And I'm sure the calculators are right, but I didn't really trust my measurements that I put in. So went ahead and just built the one to check those angles. And now I'm just gonna adjust slightly on the rest of them and they should all fit great. So I have my length measurement. I've already cut the rafter angle for down there at 6 degrees. So now I'm gonna cut, this is the angle that will sit on top of the post on this wall. So the post will sit in here, so I have to cut this angle and this angle. So to make this easy, I can actually cut this 6-degree angle first, and then using that, I can cut my post angle. And that's where the post will sit. I can take the scrap board that I just cut and start my second run down there. That way all the splices are staggered. And there you have it, a 3-ply Super Duty rafter. So at all the seams here, I'm gonna put scrap wood over that after I shoot a whole bunch of nails on these. So got all them purlins up there. Now all these I had to install standing up edgeways and use 60 penny nails to secure them. And that's due to this being an 8-foot span between all the rafters. Now that's quite a bit slower going than like on the trusses, where my trusses are spaced out at 4 feet, and I could install the purlins laying down like this. Now that was pretty easy, and I could use the nail gun, but that's all right. I think this is what I have to do on this end. So kind of the disadvantage of standing the purlins up like this is when I go to install the metal, I'm not gonna have much leeway when I'm sinking my screws. Really don't want to miss them boards. So next thing I'm gonna do on this end board here, I'm installing. Let's walk around and take a look at it. So that board up there, that is going to be my the mounting part for my end of my metal, and also end of my metal coming up this way. So kind of dual purpose, end of the metal for the roof and end of the metal for the wall. I think that's gonna work out all right. I think the honeycomb on these hammers is just to leave marks of shame when you actually miss the nail as you're whacking it in the wood. Or maybe it marks of shame on your fingers if you really get wild. I'm gonna go along all these seams where these tie together and just block me in a 2x4 just to make that a nice solid connection. I'm also going to go ahead and toenail a couple more nails in there, but there's them 60 pennies, so hopefully that really locks it down, makes it strong. Did some dirt work with the backhoe and the boys earlier, and man, the backhoe is better than TV for the kids. They really enjoy it, but it always puts my youngest to sleep. He fell right asleep on me. I think it's the lull of the engine or something. So I'm going ahead and building these triangle braces for all of this side of the lean-to, but on this side, the high side, I am going to put my triangle braces on, I think, after I put the metal on. That way I don't have to trim around it. So I'm going to go ahead and block in against those 6x6s, just so I know I'll have something solid to hit against. I should say all except for this end one. I kind of want to trim this end one out with a nice metal transition, so I'll probably go ahead and put that one on, but the rest of them I think I will install that triangle after the metal's on. So I got the 60 pennies in it, but I'm also gonna go and put all these 3/8 by 8-inch lags in those, in that brace. Also, I'm going to drill through the 6x6 post and run these lags into the back side of those rafters as well. I think that it's about as good a connection as anyone could get anyway. Got to run me some sticks up from this end wall to my rafters, so I'm gonna put a couple of angles on these pieces, 6% angle there. That way when I butt that up there, it will fit nice and tight up against that rafter. All for the lean-to framing for now. And I do have a few things to do before the metal goes on, at least this front side. I haven't framed up anything on this outer edge yet, which I will need to. I was just gonna wait till I start putting metal on and kind of decide what to do there. On this side here, you'll notice I kind of staggered a purling off center of the others of the normal 2-foot spacing, and that's so when I put my wainscot, whatever it's called, on, it can all match the main building. So the main shop, the wainscot is 4 feet tall, but as we come up this elevation, it'll jump to roughly about 3 feet, and I want that to blend in nice. So I hope you guys found this entertaining or educational. You can learn some things to do or not to do. Well, we will catch you guys next time.
Keep thinking.